Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm Malcolm, an empath, and I just like doing these little talks on, well, how I feel about things, and one of them clariers, clairaudient, clariers. People just keep making up words to reinvent the wheel. All this stuff has been in place time and time and time again. People just keep coming up with different new words like they're clever. And all it does is create more confusion and dissonance. Anyway, I just watched an episode of Scrubs, and the last line, it was a story about he and his brother came to visit, and just reminded me, we all essentially are who we were when we were kids, who we started out with. We just, become more of that. And look at we go into any environment, preschool, playground, hanging out with other kids in the park, working in the neighborhood. There's always the bossy girl that says, this is how it's supposed to be, and these are the rules, and you have to follow the rules, and dot your T's and cross your I's. I talk backwards, don't mind me. Bet she's a Virgo. Then you have the tough and tumbler playing outside all the time, just always wants to be outside, This little, always getting into mischief because you're always trying to figure out how stuff works, stuff like that. That was me, that was the Aries. We're all just these different archetypes, And then it expands, and there's more. The wounded warrior, the wounded healer, or the healed warrior, and that's what I hope we're moving into, man. All the news I'm seeing, man. I swear, people got it twisted. Really, we're just freaking puppets on planetary strings, and how Venus and Virgo, and there's, hey, astrological signs in the sky. That's what they're talking about, So, why do you think freaking sailors and great minds have always looked to the stars for answers? 'Cause that's where they are. It's quite interesting. All the stuff that's coming out, between the freaking, I was in the military and I got out because it was so seedy and gross. I saw it all the time, and people report. I mean, the nation is full of. I think prisons are more full of people that don't want to. That people that know stuff that people that put them don't. I think there's probably maybe 50-50. 49-51 of those, especially since they privatized prisons. That was something that was weird. I've been watching Orange and the New Black in the evening too, and it's just, I'm like, they're just telling stories about what freaking happens in real life. Dogs let me sleep in till about 4:34, almost, it was after 4. I was real excited about that. We had a rough night. It was warm yesterday. It ain't freaking easy to keep freaking a house cool without air conditioning and things clean without water. I do the best I can. Especially when I have migraines most every day, but I'm not complaining. I'm saying that this is the stuff that people just have to live through every day because they don't have a choice, And I was talking about how we become more of what we are, And I always liked and I was always one of the ones, hey, you want some of what I got? You want some of what I got? You want some, the sharer, the giver, And I never liked those people that just took and took and took. Yeah, I'll take that. Well, how much you got? How much you want? Give it. That's what I call a vampire. That's what I call an energetic vampire. Yeah, I'm sure there's real ones too. Shoot, every storyline I'm sure somebody thought it was relevant to them, so they made it happen. People don't like talking about stuff, but the more they don't talk about it, the more that stuff grows, and then look what happens, Freaking these military members all over the place are being shown for the freaking scumbag pigs that they are. I can't wait till they stop recognizing that they're not worth this pay. When are people going to start seeing that, man? I saw I think it was Facebook this morning. I posted on Instagram. I took a screenshot of it and posted over on Instagram. And, technology is so stupid. Boy, we'd really be in trouble if stuff, like, worked the way it should. Anyway, here's an ad that was posted about a week ago, 18th. Oregon Department of Corrections, the Criminal Justice CJC, located in Salem, Oregon, is currently accepting applications for new director of program, salary up to $9,463 a month. So I wrote, it's all smoke and mirrors. They don't want the minimum wage to be $15 an hour, but they pay themselves this crap. Are you sick of paying for their egos? They're not worth the cost. They house people in cages, not saving the planet, for Christ's sake. Cut their pay. You are paying for their narcissistic, inflated egos, and too many are homeless. Oregon is a terrible place, full of rich and greedy. They just act like they care, which is worse. Wake up, people. Nobody works that hard. Nobody works that hard. Nobody works that hard. I'm tired of the corruption and shallow souls that require money to compensate for their spirit. Salem Director Leadership. I tagged those because those are the same hashtags that they used. And because I want them to see this. My ass. That's what I said. Salem Director Leadership, my ass. Is that what God wanted? Native American speaking obvious truth. Politicians candidate USA veteran. It's probably why I don't get a whole lot of followers on my tube, because I say things. It's obvious to me, but it seems like the rest of the world is a little bit behind the curve. You know, the backwards thinker. We are the innovator. We're the ones that can make the world better. So go ahead. Just pass us by. Keep squandering lives, farming people. I don't know, when you kind of keep them in a place, only give them so much for food, so much for water, allowance, you know. I guess I could put my mom in a home so I could feed that paradigm of freaking gross people. Those places charge like freaking $5,000-$6,000 a month. You know, or in the ones that the state run, it's another system where they say that they use this much for the people, but the actual people get very little, and there's often cases of neglect and abuse and twisted crap because they charge people so low. Yeah, so is America great again yet? All this starts from inside. Every single in person is responsible for this. My contribution, though Luna just yawned, she's a hot girl. My contribution is I do these videos just because I want to get people to think. I don't really care. I don't care at all if people agree with me or not. Heck, I ain't never been mainstream. I probably wouldn't like it. It's hard for me to watch, like, chats. Like, even in, like, minnow pond, it's like, all people do is freaking just, oh my God, you are so wonderful, you are just the man, oh my God, you are just, thank you, oh, thank you for all your guidance in your way, and they're totally inflating these people's egos, and I'm like, they are no different, it's all more the same. So when people think about who they were in the kid, you know, and that's what's happening now is the astrology is like, dude, this is not who you started out as. This ain't who you are. This ain't who your mom and dad raised you to be. They didn't, you know, they didn't tell you that it was a good idea to freaking, what did those creep seal guys do? What did they do? Oh, they told people there are other people so girls would send them naked pics. And then there's the Marines that they're tying into drug trafficking. It's all connected. Dude, man. They get paid themselves so much because it's a good old boy, it's a secret club, and because they're not going to tell them themselves. But hey, us down here who have seen it from outside, Mm. Karma's coming around. Karma's coming around. Karma's coming around. Our inner genes are shaking us up, reminding us who we are, who we were, and who we want to be. Dude, I don't think people want to be greedy. I don't think people want to be void of spirit. I just think that they don't know how to get there. And a lot of people, that feeling of, that vibration of love, it's scary to me them because they've never felt it. It's a frequency. And for people that have never been loved, like in a kind and loving way, you know, that was right for them, not how people thought they should be loved, but what was good for them. Because unless you're an empath, you aren't going to know what's good for people. And even as an empath, you ain't going to be right all the time. You ain't always going to know what's good for people. You can just have an idea of because our experience is so vast of things. You know, I can tap into my emotional library when something happens to somebody and draw on that and join them there. Yeah. That's what empathy is. That's all empathy is. And so when there's so much of not, it's just there's a lot of people that haven't had a lot of freaking terrible shit happen to them. And, well, now they're getting there. So they're being made to feel empathetic. That's what's happening today. That's how I feel about things. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.